And then at the end of the tweet, he said, did he say long live the king?
That sounds right. If it's not right, it's really close.
Okay. And then I don't know if it was earlier or before, but I believe he tweeted a photograph of himself wearing a crown.
The official White House Twitter account tweeted a picture of, I think it's Time magazine, with him on the cover wearing a crown, not a real
cover. Brutus. I heard twice he was offered a kingly crown and twice he turned it down.
You know, it would be great if they
we're all honorable men
around
here.
And they could like actually start mass deportations instead of all these bullshit little things. That would be great.
My God.
That's what we all voted for him for. We don't want illegals here. Start moving them out in mass.
I was talking about the crown, though.
Oh, I mean, like, do it. That's what I mean. Is like focus on why we voted you in instead of these like weird little petty things.
I'm with Taylor, but on a different issue. I want actual fraud, right? I want them to reduce actual fraud in the government. And like, here's my take. Give me 30 seconds.
Boom.
We were paying like $28 million for Sesame Street in Iraq. If that's not right, it's close. It's something like that over some period of years. And they're like, look at this fraud. Like, that's not fraud. You might not like that spending. There's a lot of spending I don't like. And if you think that's terrible, I see where you're coming from. But it's not fraud. Let's be honest about this. This is a thing that Congress approved. They were trying to win like hearts and minds. They're trying to export American culture. And $28 million is dirt cheap compared to the $1 trillion we spent on war to accomplish the same thing, exporting American culture. It was a different way to try to do it with the kids and have them grow up and not hate America. But it's not fraud. You just don't like the program. I wish they'd be honest about that and actually go after fraud. Are there truly a lot of 150-year-olds on Social Security? I love that. Let's look into that. You know, maybe IRS tax cheats. Let's find actual fraud, actual unproductive employees. You know, get rid of them. Like, I'm down to make the government for Doge to do its thing. It's one of the things I was most excited about in the Trump administration. But instead, it just seems to be programs they don't like that they're cutting off, which I don't know. I don't here to defend those programs. It's just they were approved and voted
any
on
programs
and passed into law.
Like any of all these things we're seeing, though, like they don't help Americans. And so like whether it's fraud or not, like I still want it shut down. But yeah, they should be like
they have
allotted more time.
They have both houses of Congress. They have the judicial branch and they have the executive branch. Just pass a better law, pass a better spending bill.
They should shut all of that nonsense down and then start rooting out all the corruption they can find. And like you said, the IRS and people exploiting welfare, cheating those systems, which like, I can't imagine how much goes on there.
They're auditing Fort Knox. They're going to count the bars.
What's the over? Like, what's the line on bars?
Well, there's an amount that they're supposed to have. It's thousands of tons of gold that are supposed to be there. I don't remember exactly, but I know that it's thousands of tons. And Elon is like, is all the gold there? Well, I don't know. We're going to find out. And they asked Trump, and he's like, we're going to count the gold. Every bar.
Has it been a long time since we've counted up our gold?
Well, the Treasury says they do an audit every year, but like, I want them to go in there and like pick every bar up and scratch it a little and like scan it or something. You know, I want somebody there drilling holes through bars with a DeWalt.
There's like one of the night guards there has like 4 Rolexes on. Like he's
right.
Like I wonder how it's done. I imagine a forklift where they could accurately measure the weight of the pallet. Like, how would you actually audit all this? I didn't think of Kyle's idea that they'd be replacing the bar with like lead. One that had a lead core. Like I didn't consider that.
How do we get Nicolas Cage to be part of that?
He'll do anything for money.
The stealing of the bar.
If we give him a third of a gold bar, he'll do 10 movies on it. Like, they're stealing the gold.
That's Lethal Weapon. That's Die Hard. Die Hard with a Vengeance. That's Die Hard with a Vengeance. Die Hard 3, which is actually better than Die Hard 2, and some would say better than Die Hard 1 even.
I'm a purist. I've only seen Die Hard 1. Only Will ever see.
Let me tell you, Bruce Willis teams up with Samuel L. Jackson. So can we talk about how the mayor of New York, we did last week, but like now it's clearly true, and everyone's saying it. The mayor of New York is clearly being squeezed.
Yeah, so the judge rejected the deal or something. I every time there's legal proceeding stuff, I understand it like halfway, but I guess Trump pressured his DOJ to drop the case for a Democratic mayor who was taking bribes and like illegal campaign contributions and more. And Trump was like, hey, we got you on the squeeze here for taking these bribes and illegal campaign contributions. Why don't you start doing the things we want, which is basically allowing ICE to come in and violate some New York state laws. And he's like, if you're going to let me go personally and get away with these bribes, I'm down. So now you have like a crooked president working with a crooked mayor to achieve their
allegedly. No, what I love, I'm sure you remember
getting illegals out of New York.
That's the plan.
That's what they're trying to do. But what actually happened is the judge was like, I'm not accepting you dropping this case against a man who there's all this evidence against. That seems like there's something unscrupulous going on here. And I'm not an attorney, but I think that's the current state of affairs.
I'm less offended by that, potential breach of law than I am by the just shameless breaching of our law of millions of people being in our country illegally. Like that's more offensive to me. That's more of a problem that needs fixing.
This is fun though because it's right in our faces and everyone knows it. So the Eric Adams is the mayor in question. I think he's on Fox and Friends, which is their morning show, and they're like, hey, there are people, Mayor Adams, there are people who suggest that there's some quid pro quo coming here. And he's like, and it reminded me so much of Clay Davis from The Wire, who's this crooked black politician. He's like, oh, that's ridiculous. All them accusations ain't nothing, but that's liberal propaganda. They don't even know what gender should be in what bathroom. And you think they know who I paid, when I paid, what I paid. I tell you what I paid. I pay attention. And this country's a changing. He didn't say any of this. This is just what I would have said if I were him.
Okay.
Good speech. I like it.
I'm voting for Kyle at this point. Black Kyle.
Black Kyle would be president by now. I got him so much.
I don't think felons can run for president.
They wouldn't have arrested. They would have left me alone if I was black. I'd have been a hero. I'd have said that ganja was cultural. It was part of my religion.
You're
Rastafarian, it's clearly that, and I'm whatever I hear that a judge said this or that, I'm like, okay, well, this is a bigger judge though, and then after that there's another judge, right? And then after that we go to that court where Trump's basically in charge. Like every time Trump's challenged, I wonder, like, is this the sort of thing that can go to a Supreme Court? Because then Trump wins.
Yeah, I think it can be. And I'm just saying this because if it's the DOJ who's doing it, then it's the federal Supreme Court who would be the highest court, right? Mm-hmm. If it was the Attorney General from New York, then I would say no, but that's not the case.
I see Reddit articles that are so misleading, and I understand why people from the left must be like just gobstruck because you keep reading these articles that are from left-leaning media, and they'll say, Trump shut down in this district court. It's all over. And they'll be like, oh, thank God. It's all under control. And then the next day you're like, actually, that judge has been fired, and his wife got cancer last night, and the new judge says that Trump can do whatever he wants. Like the next day, there's always some superseding power that Trump has a lever to pull. And the other day, I don't know what it meant, but on the R Law subreddit of Reddit, they were like, "This is the biggest presidential power grab in American history."
Oh shit! Reddit said that?
Yeah.
Holy cow!
I didn't know where to go to get any fair and balanced news on what he did or
I find
legal
myself in that position sometimes.
Well, then you should default back to the most heavily censored, highly curated forum online for the discussion of politics.
I feel like I need to hire. I feel like I'm signing a contract. I should hire a lawyer and ask him about what Trump signed to get like I need somebody who's completely impartial and is protected by lawyer-client privilege to tell me the truth about what Trump signed yesterday.
I agree with both of you. Our law, I didn't join that subreddit, but I guess I gave it too much attention, and now it's constantly getting fed to me. And some of the people are clearly attorneys and subject matter experts who I hope I can trust. They are attorneys on Reddit, right? So like Kyle says, like, where is a better source to get that? It's not Ari Fleischer. Is that his name on MSNBC, that attorney, right? I don't want to go there. I don't want to listen to Hannity or Tucker. Like,
No.
Where is truth being told?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's hard to find. There's everyone
podcast.
has an agenda. This
Right
podcast
here.
is where
PKA
you find,
podcast.
this is where you
I
find
know.
truth, because we haven't even consumed enough of the propaganda to know on either side what
We don't know anything, so we don't know the fake
I'm
stuff.
just feeling
I'll
the
tell you,
wind.
like